I would summarize some of the investments and installations that has been done over the years in snowmaking in Östersund. And we look back at, we started around 98 doing the first small installation with just a couple of fan guns and a capacity of 50 cubic per hour. In 2002 we moved on and installed a bigger system covering the stadium and a few tracks. In 2006 we made the first attempt to store snow from one season to another with just one pile with about 25,000 cubic of snow. That was quite successful though, and 2009 the pump system was increased to 100 cubic per hour, and in 2015 we extended the system to reach double volume on the snow piles, so we could store two piles with altogether 60 cubic per hour per year, so 60,000 cubic of snow from one season to the next. And that's the way we do it every year since then. In 2018 we built a complete new pump system for bringing water instead of using drinking water that is too clean and too warm. We bring water up from the Grand Lake, the Great Lake, and it's almost 1.6 kilometers far away from the ski area, so it's a quite big pipeline. Now we have a capacity for 300 cubic of water, and we can reach, with more pumps, we can reach 800 cubic per hour with the same system. This is a map showing where the new pipeline is placed, crossing 6 big roads and 3 railroads on the way. And it took from September till March doing the installation of the pipeline. And this is from April 2018 when we did the water intake in the Great Lake. Since the lake is quite shallow, the water intake is 140 meters away from the beach. And this picture shows the layout of the pump station inside. To produce the snow we use both fan guns and stick systems. Fan guns are mainly used on the stadium and for the snow piles for the snow storage, while we try to stay with sticks when we do produce snow directly in the tracks, since sticks has a more narrow spread angle to provide the way to get more percentage of the snow direct in the tracks instead of in the forest. When we look at the snow system's capacity, compare from now what we got today compared to what we had a few years ago, we can see that when we were doing snow with the old system using drinking water, we had a temperature from +7 to +12, and we had a capacity of about 240 cubic per hour. Now when we use this system we can bring water up from the Great Lake, and we have a water temperature of +2 and a capacity of 1,000 cubic per hour. The benefits that we see from the new system is that it's 4 times as effective, bringing us a shorter production time, which also brings us lower cost. The colder water brings us more snow per hour and less energy consumption per cubic. And as a bonus we get no cost for the water. And with that said, I think I should leave the word to Roger, tell you a bit more about how we do with the snow that we store.
We have stored snow now for a couple of years in Sweden, in Östersund, so we try and we do it so easy we can. It's no magics. In making snow, we work with big machines. We use sawdust, no chemical, no frozen device or something, just sawdust. So it's the cost. I nearly do 60,000. I think I can do 70,000. It's not that much money to do more. The problem is to use these ones, to bring it out on the tracks, to cover with sawdust. That's the cost. Okay, I go in here. So it takes us to do the World Cup season. It starts in November. That's the main target for me. I know when it starts, when it arrives, all the athletes and everything. Then I have to plan this. If you see in the weather forecast and everything, you have 10 days. You can be sure that 3 hours is quite okay. But when we start this, when you bring out the sawdust, it takes 2 weeks. And then bring out the snow on the tracks, 3 weeks. So 5 weeks I need to know. So I have to have some connection with him. What I really want to have is frozen ground. And this year I really get frozen ground. It's snowing and I have to put out gravel to get the lorries inside the tracks. So first rid of the snow, put gravel and in with the snow. And when my boss see the costs, so he's starting to wonder why I'm doing. But nearly everybody is doing the tracks, especially for the World Cup and that level. Now you have big hills and downhills. And when you bring in the snow, it's not so easy. You have the track start spinning, so you have to work with it. So if I have to do something about our arena, I would have other roads inside. So I can bring in snow in a much easier way. This snow we use for gymnasium, university, all our professional skiers stay in Östersund, and also our what you call it, the easier skiers. So we have 1.7 that everybody can go. And they bring in some money, so I can employ a couple of guys to work with it. Near pit. That's the tracks we have from the start. That's the World Cup races, but we have missed some of them. So it's a long process. And the skiers are not the patient man. They can be just under the lorry. You put out the snow, can I go? So we have the security and safety is one of the hardest things to work with. And I'm not sure that in the middle of the night they come. You can sit there and listen to some music and do a grooming machine, and suddenly it come a skier, 3 o'clock in the night. And you just wonder, do you have a life or something? But they ski a lot. It's this is the way we use. We have lorries. I work with 8 lorries. They take 20 to 22 cubic meters, and we work with the grooming machines because it's the cheapest, not the best. The best is excavator. I'd say excavator, but there was something else. Excavator, because you get out the air from the snow. You get stiffer snow. You can start to race on it much earlier. And then we have all the side of the snow. We have seen if you leave the big snow pots, you have to flat it out so the wind don't turn in. They're eating inside the tracks. And when you have a snow growing machine, it's made for going up on the snow. it's easier. You have fat, big tracks. An excavator has smaller, heavier press. So we put out about 40 centimeters on the tracks, except on the shooting range. That's the reglement tells us 20. So if I put 20, you have 10 plus in November, and suddenly it's 10. And then you have to put in more snow, and then it's snow, and you have 25. And suddenly EBU is there and want to have a World Cup. So it's the 100 meters as the shooting range it's the hardest part to do. It's the same. If it's plus degrees, it's not so good. You can see the watering start raining. That's very fast. So it's much better when you have frozen grounds. It's something we will learn when we make this. You see, this is what I'm talking about. We have put them inside now, and suddenly they are here, and the wind go around, and it's eating fast, really fast. We see if you're in the forest or on the arena, it's the big difference. In the arena, it's eating fast. But that's the easiest part for me to bring in more snow. We're making 60,000. I use them every cubic meter for the World Cup and the daily work. If I have to bring more snow inside, I have to use from bandy area, ice hockey arena. I take that snow. So I have 2 hockey arenas and 1 bandy arena, and this is my snow factories during the winter. As fast they have make some ice, they put out the snow, and I bring it in. So when we now have the World Cup, I have to be on the meeting at 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We have official training now. So it's, we are bringing out lots of that kind of snow. It's easiest instead of just because we have so warm, so we can't making snow outside on the tracks. I have 3 days and nice now, and then you have the sponsors. You have everybody who want to go to snowboard or put out with the advertising and everything. So it's not so easy to work with. But the snow, I think it will be one of the fastest World Cup you can see tomorrow. We have a new downhill, we call it Honeycomb Runner. This is the way it looks on the summer, the sawdust, when we put out about 30 centimeters. I think Eric will tell you later that you can save more snow if you have to put them 40, 50, 60, 1 meter. You don't drop so much snow, but there's some economic in this. I'd rather do 65 and lose more. 30 is, for me, perfect. We have lose about 9 to 12% every summer. We make much more drier snow now than we did when I started. We have we learn it from the Alpines. Lots of water, lot of raining. And we saw that the snow, after the summer we put it out, it was icy, it was not good to work with. So we started to do it drier. We don't get out so much cubic meters in every hour on the Euros, but it's much better snow to work with. And the quality is very important for us. It's not just walking, skiing on. That's the future. Thank you.